Well, here we are at, where are we exactly?
We're in San Jose at the Adobe headquarters, and they're nice 3 big towers in the middle of downtown San Jose.
And as everyone can see, you're a visitor here, as am
Visiting,
I.
yeah.
And why don't you introduce yourself really briefly?
So I'm Andre Charland, founder and CEO at Nitobi Software.
And what do you guys do exactly?
We really focus on building rich internet applications. So we have a suite of Ajax components. We provide support for those, and we also do professional services around user interface design, usability testing, and software development.
Now, and then how about your Robot Replay?
And Robot Replay is a usability testing tool, so it lets you watch user sessions on your website. You put a snippet of JavaScript on, you can watch session playback, so you can watch the mouse move around. It's kind of like a screencast, but it's all Ajax based. And then we also do Flex and Air development services also for customers.
And there's a plane going overhead.
Yeah, we're in the hotbed of technology here in San
Jose. Was it Robot Replay that I think, like, when I was at the Zen conference recently, I was telling you that you guys were mentioned, and I think they were using Robot Replay to do like training videos or something.
No, they're using Spotlight.
Okay, so tell us about Spotlight.
So Spotlight is like a pre-recorded or like kind of programmed screencast. It's like a little JavaScript callout bubble or DHTML thing that floats around your page and kind of blurs areas out and then gives you focus on areas you want to see, and you can animate it. You can go through buttons and pages and stuff like that. So I know, Bell Helicopters is using it to do some training sessions.
Right. And so basically you can sort of like say, like, here's the way you would click on something to...
Yeah, it'll step the user through and like pop a bubble out next to the UI element you're trying to focus on. Say, click here to do blah, blah, blah. Next, go here.
Right.
You can walk user through a form or something.
And so the other stuff that you guys, so you got the Robot Replay and the Spotlight, and then, to put it in my own words, and then you guys also sell like Ajax widgets.
Yeah, right? And then we have a framework of, Ajax components. We have a really rich grid, tree grid, which is like hierarchical grid, trees, menu components, combo box, that sort of thing.
And so, like, what's the market for that? Like what, usually people think about RIAs. I think you and I have had this discussion like 5 times in recorded meetings.
Yeah.
So let's have it again. like what are the types of people who buy these components?
Tend to be large enterprise customers, building behind the firewall type applications, accounting systems, inventory management, tracking systems. Really the kind of bread and butter of enterprise applications used to be desktop applications. Right. Similar stuff to what you'd see in like a Flex component set, all those sort of components, but all in JavaScript.
Right, and being sort of like a third party outside person, it seems like, hopefully you can look into many different developer communities, right?
Right.
And so first off, before I assume I know what they are, like, what would you say the different developer communities are that you guys are using widgets that you're doing RAs into?
Who are using our components?
Like for example, I guess I will preload it. I would say like there's sort of like Microsoft developers, and then there's like Java developers and web developers, and like it's interesting to have a third party perspective on like those different pools, because they tend to be very myopic and insular and not really knowing about each other so much.
Yeah, it's hard to put them in buckets. We sell server-side libraries for all our components too, right? So we have a Java, which has struts, servlets, JSF support, all that kind of stuff. We have a .NET library, which is really improving for this quarter's release. We have PHP libraries, and classic ASP, even we still sell those, and Cold Fusion libraries. So those are the kind of developers we support. Our biggest customer base tends to be in Java and .NET. That's where we get the most sales. Those are people who are kind of doing bigger enterprise sales.
The time has come, Andre.
The time has come.
And is there much crossover between those, or are they basically like the Java people buy the Java stuff? Or?
Yeah, like the Java people and .NET people tend to kind of stay in their own worlds. We do get some crossover from time to time, people telling us they're working with, PHP on one project and maybe Cold Fusion on the next or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, they tend to be pretty distinct. And then, there's a good spread between the real enterprise, it's big corporate internal developers, ISVs selling to those guys, and consultants tend to be the people who buy our products.
Right. And then so finally, you guys are up in Vancouver, right?
We are up in Vancouver.
And so what is the RIA scene up there like in Vancouver?
It's pretty good. There's a lot of JavaScript developers there, a lot of designers, pretty good Flash community too, and there's more and more Flex stuff going on all the time too. We're involved in the Flash meetups. Quite a few Rails guys also. We do a lot of Rails at Nitobi, There's a good community there for it too.
And plenty of good bars and things like that, right?
Lots of great bars and restaurants close to Whistler.
And you guys' offices are downtown, right?
Yeah, right downtown in Gastown, so it's kind of like the old cobblestone street.
So is that are you guys just like wildly successful, or is that like a normal place to have offices?
That's where there's a lot of high-tech companies right now.
Right.
You're like in an older, kind of funkier building with like windows that open. It's bright, kind of open space, but rent's not necessarily crazy cheap. So.
Do you guys have some fun name for it, like Silicon Snow Hills or something like that? Like, in Austin, everyone likes to call it the Silicon Hills, and in New York they're like Silicon Alley versus Valley. But has Vancouver come up with a name for?
No, we have. We should get started on that. We just call it Gastown.
That's right, just like in San Diego, right?
I don't think there's enough geeks overall in Vancouver for it to be cool to be a geek. It's not like in San Francisco. You sit down at a dinner table and probably half the people there work in some kind of web tech company. It's not like that in Vancouver, so you're still just a geek.
Well, great. Well, thanks for giving us the update there.
All right, thanks.